Welcome back, everybody, to another round of the Common Ground Cup. Your favorite tournament. We play your favorite format, Pauper. We are on our first.
And it's not just another round of the.
No, we're first round of.
It's the top 8.
The top 8. Yeah, we have our top 8. Should we announce that? I don't know if this is in order. I know we have first place. Look at that. Beautiful. Y'all are. Shout out to our production team, Kyle and Thomas, for just making this happen. But first place, we got Austin Walker on Black White Blade, facing against 8th place, Karl Schroeder on Mono Blue Fae. Next match, we have Michael Full on Jun Broodskale playing Bailey McKinnon on Kadoltha Red in 7th.
In 5th, we have Jonathan Turner on Jun Wildfires playing against Jonathan Dacus on Walls.
Jonathan duo.
And then in our last match, we have Devin Northcutt on Blue Red Terror and Dustin Sendejas on Affinity.
So what matchup do y'all want to see on coverage? Let's get a couple in. We're probably gonna give like a couple minutes because I think our judges making the announcements right now. So we're gonna leave it up to y'all if y'all have any suggestions on what you want to see. The matchups are there. Wildfire Walls, that's interesting. Terror versus Affinity could be grindy and interesting. I could like that one. Jun Broodskale versus Red, that kind of either goes one way.
Yeah.
Black White Blade versus Yufei, I think is pretty interesting.
Somebody wanting Blade.
Blade, we see a Blade on there.
Blade and Fae.
Blade and Fae, all right.
Seems like Blade and Fae.
We'll take Blade and Fae. Easy, Fae. Somebody call Skura. Get Skura in the chat. Let's summon the... Maybe not great for Austin if we summon the Skura into the chat.
Oh, we got the Faeries master to come beat this unbeatable Austin Walker.
Who is Yuta Takahashi? I've never heard of him.
Yuta Takahashi?
It's all about Skura. The kid's talking about Skura now.
Oh, we know those called Fairy Mastermind.
Yeah. Not even great in standard right now, to be honest. But so it looks like we said earlier, Fae versus Black White Blade. They're gonna grab our opponents there. So let's go ahead and take a look at these lists. Try to find them. There's Karl, Jonathan. Sorry, we just got a pile of papers, and they're the last 2.
This one.
I got Austin here.
Oh, I have Karl's. So.
Perfect, beautiful. What's their list looking like? Like, what's their flex slots? How many dispels? How many Snare Master sprites?
We have a full set of Snare Master sprites. We have 2 Spell Pierce. We have a full set of Mutagenic Growths.
Okay, wow. It's so a little aggressive for Faeries.
So no dispels in the 75.
Oh wow, interesting.
In the 75.
Let me see that sideboard there. So sideboards for Nulls, Blue Blast, Relics, and Sealed Sabotage. So really heavy on the artifact hate, which might be relevant in Austin because Austin is playing quite a bit of artifacts and a Tithing Blade, but not like Tithing Blade super.
Still Sabotage is actually a pretty big game.
Oh yeah,
being able to just like time walk him, like return his bounce lands to his hand on turn 1.
Yeah, that is true.
That's pretty big.
Especially with their tap lands, but
yeah, like if you just return tap land on 1, and then you're progressing your game plan, like that puts him so far behind.
With the Blade deck too, you don't always have the tap lanes too, which is nice. So. Yeah. But it looks like we're going to be hopping in this match right now. Our players resolving mulligans, it looks like. Don't know if this is the first opening 7 or not.
We'll figure it out when they start putting cards in the bottom of their library.
That is true, or lack of. Austin's list of 2 stabs.
The 2 stabs are going to be very good here. That was a card for this. Really, I think that was one of the reasons he put the card in there. Put the card in deck was for this matchup.
Yep. And we have the main deck. Suffocating Fumes like we see quite a bit, but also 2 Drowning Sorrow that can come into play, and then 1 Shrivel. Are you familiar with Shrivel?
I'm the one who suggested he put the card in his sideboard,
that is funny.
So I am familiar with the card. I told him, I was like, you can either put Nausea or Shrivel in your deck, and it's just a 1 in a black. All creatures get -1/-1.
And I really like with the stabs too, if you can let them ninja in, and then you just kill the ninja.
Yep. They have to be very careful about when they ninja, because if they ninja with no free mana, or so it could become a problem for them. But the cool thing about, I guess, this is the one corner case where Mutagenic Growth actually does serve its good purpose. Is it does get around stabs. So if Austin goes for like a stab on a ninja and you get blown out by Mutagenic Growth, it feels pretty bad.
Interesting. Both lists are almost like geared towards
each other.
Yeah, because the Mutagenic Growths, it can help push through. Because normally Austin would be sitting pretty with. Of course, Skyfishers and Glenhawks, but now Karl with the Mutagenic Growths can push through damage, so we're going to have to see how this plays out. Both players know each other, too. They have both judged CDH events together, and they've both been judges together, so they do know each other, which is pretty fun. I have cubed with both of them before.
Nice.
So, I have cubed at Karl's place once before.
Oh, cool.
So it's good stuff. All right, I think this is the first one. Both players, good luck. Man, let's start. Both very good performance for both players. Austin starting out 6-0, so
Yeah,
that's
he
awesome.
clean swept the Swiss.
He has to be happy no matter if Austin doesn't win.
Whoa.
Whoa, I'm not reading that.
That is his stepchild.
Channel my inner Hippo. Core Skyfisher or take it down.
I am a big fan of Core Skyfisher.
Sky Core Fisher is I like the.
You do love to get that one backwards.
It only took like 40 episodes, 50, 60, whatever.
Austin looks like Austin's hands like a blade plus a Thraben Inspector and some lands. I don't know that I love that.
That man loves to draw lands. I don't know if
He-
Austin loves.
I
He
think
kept,
he kept the hand. Interesting.
and he's on the play
Well, he's on
too.
the play, so he does get to take advantage of it. So
I guess yeah, he can.
because his blade works really well against a fairy on
A turn one
one.
fairy. I agree with you there, Hippo. You can't mean regenerate. I mean, you can. Not in
That
your
is
best
a
interest.
waste of 2 life. If you asked me.
Man. Oh yeah. Just taking another list. Let's see if there's any spice here to go
Yep,
over.
like I say,
Man.
just the mutagenic growth is kind of the spicy point in this list. It's gonna. I imagine that will probably come up at some point.
The 3 relics is nice in the sideboard too. Probably not here, but we see a lot of the fairy decks not respecting the graveyard decks necessarily. I mean, kind of makes sense because you play all these counters, and it's like you're a counter deck with a clock. You're what you call a delver deck in a weird way.
I actually imagine that these spell piercers are probably pretty good from the fairy side too. Just like again, we've discussed earlier that like Austin's deck is extremely mana hungry.
Depth of Fey, Teal's dead.
Yeah, Austin's deck is extremely mana hungry, so he's gonna want to like use all of his mana every single turn of the game. And if he just gets like disrupted with a spell pierce, it's like, oh wow, that's a huge blowout.
Yeah,
Because you're trying to do these very impactful things with each bit of your mana.
man.
All right, looks.
Oh, we got a couple lands. The worst fairy of them all, but he's
Yeah.
looking.
That is definitely the worst fairy. Just
Carl's probably
bottom
looking
land.
at that turn 2 ninja. I like the little camera show. Thank you, Karl.
Yeah.
He has a turn 2 ninja.
I don't think it's gonna beat the Devin showing us triple lightning bolt.
That was pretty. That
That
was
was pretty
great.
good.
Thank you.
Cool. Looks like Austin's gonna start off with that turn 1 Thraben Inspector.
Trigger, make a clue. Man, he is our Tennessee resident death and taxes player,
Oh my good.
as we know it. So he's channeling that. I don't know what he's digging for. No timer, so he is probably just grabbing his tokens out. The RK Post South Park.
He's got a raging clue right now.
Austin does have a raging clue right now. Some banter between them. Probably not friendly.
I imagine it's from.
What is that?
Is that a fairy seer?
That is that he just scried to. That has to be a fairy
Has-
here. That's a jumpstart art. It looks like.
I think that is.
Yeah.
I will be honest, I've never seen that until this very moment.
I'll be honest. I agree.
And then exactly as we said, the Tithing Blade's going to come down and take out that fairy on
Did
turn
you
1.
get a chance to catch Austin's draw step? Was it a land?
It was I think it was another land.
Yeah, risky from Austin because I've been hearing him talk. I'm like, man, I love to draw lands, and he is a land heavy deck for a Pauper. 21 lands is not light for a Pauper deck.
He does want to make use of his lands every turn. So he wants to make sure he hits those lands because he uses them all every single turn of the game. So looks like Carl's going to play a
Is that another land?
Fairy Miscreant.
Is that another land from Austin?
Yeah, I believe so. 'Cause I think he just drew the tap line for turn.
Man, I wonder
He's showing
if
us his hand. Yeah, it's just all lands.
I kind of did this to yourself a little
Well,
bit.
yeah, he kept a 5-lander.
So I like untap land here because you can
You know-
draw out to your
I
stab.
was like, do you know what would be a huge draw here, actually?
What's
If he
that?
drew, or is he playing the main deck?
Oh, now we see a
He
spell
is playing
stutter
the main
sprite.
deck Cleric. If he drew Cleric here, that would actually be a pretty sick draw.
Oh yes, Cleric can blow up the Moon Circuit Hacker. We see
He drew
suffocating,
a
fumes.
suffocating fumes. That's
So that
pretty
is
good.
that is a good one.
If he can make that one happen, that one's pretty good.
That is like one of the sideboard main deck cards.
Yeah.
The main deck sideboard card. There we go.
Just
And
make a trade
Austin's
there.
gonna take the
Ooh.
trade. We're gonna see
The
Brine
Brine
Borrow.
Borrow. Yep.
Tricky. Oh, okay. We do see a Deadly Dispute in Austin's hand.
Okay. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You don't want it to get spell start. Oh, spell start sprite doesn't do it
He's
here.
gonna get rid of the blade because the blade's kind of used its purpose this game.
Mhm.
I think it's gonna be really hard to get the blade to have like an actively good effect for the rest of the game, because they're gonna have so many creatures in play every single turn.
It turns on your Glint Hawks, which is nice. I wonder if Austin just playing around a counter spell or something though, which it's fine.
So he picks up an Omen of the Dead, which is actually pretty good here too.
Mm-hmm. He's probably debating if he wants to flash that in on stuff.
Which we can see that there's a spell starter sprite waiting in the wings for Karl.
Only on one, though, so we can only counter one.
Well, you
so
can counter this Omen
I
of the
bet
Dead. I
Karl,
think I would do that.
Maybe Karl is afraid of Glenhawks, though.
Could be. Well, as we said, you let the... Or actually, he does let it resolve.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I bet Karl wants to be like, I want to hit this Glenhawk.
Well, currently you can't spell stutter a Glenhawk.
Yep, 1-1. Right? You can spell Star Sprite a Glenhawk.
Oh, Glenhawk. I'm sorry. I'm thinking backwards. You can spell stutter a Glenhawk, not the other one. Not the other flyer. It's been a long day.
Old Seer is so ugly. Sorry. Ooh. I agree to disagree too, Teasdale. Especially, I'm a fan of the old border foils from MH2.
I will basically divert to whatever the original art of a card is.
Yeah.
No matter if it's good looking or not.
Mm-hmm. I do like the retro foils have been doing. They're not all created equally. Some of them look a little washed.
Sure.
So we're gonna see a Deadly Dispute from Austin, sacrificing that treasure, netting equal on treasure.
Mm-hmm.
He stabbed that spell stutter sprite in his turn while he's tapped out. Austin looking okay. He's starting to pull his way back in his game. He got rid of that spell stutter sprite. You don't want it to hang out because you don't want it to go back in the hand.
Correct.
But Refurbished Familiar is really good in this matchup.
It is one of the stronger cards in the matchup. Putting them down a card and you put a flyer into play makes their life really hard.
It's a good blocker. And now Austin's sitting on the stab.
And you will happily trade it off for a creature.
You got to. This is a great start from Austin because he's seeing all three of his main deck sideboard cards that I'm calling them now. The 2 copies of Stab and the 1 copy of the Suffocating Fumes. Yep. So, you see that little switcheroo?
That was good. That was good.
What does Karl got? The tricky
Spell Pierce is a ninja
and a spell stutter spray and a snap.
I
see a snap. And all are a little awkward here. Because you're not really dying to snap either of them. Maybe Karl was hoping for a bad block from Austin and be able to snap something in. Or maybe put the ninja in, but we're going to see a snap in the Brine Burrow.
Interesting. So this is actually going to... You can prompt and kill the Thraben Inspector.
I wonder how Austin feels about this. Austin says, I'll stab it. And
Spell Pierce in response.
Okay, yep, get that out while you can. These games are going to go long. Not a terrible exchange from Austin at all, though, because his Refurbished Familiar is still a blocker. The Moon Circuit Hacker and the Thraben should trade.
No, they won't trade because of the Brine Burrow.
Oh, yep, good point. Very well played from Karl.
Yeah, this is a very tough
matchup. You
matchup
said that as it was happening.
But yeah,
good call, Hippo.
Well, I said it beforehand, too.
I was like, as it was happening. You're good.
I said it when the snap was on the
okay.
I said it when the snap was on the stack.
Agree to disagree.
Oh, that's a really important core Skyfisher here. Pick up that Omen of the Dead. That's
man.
Big game here. That is huge game. Now you actively almost want to get rid of this.
Wow,
this
attack.
Oh, he goes in for a nice aggressive attack there. Mm-hmm. Like that. So he's looking at Omen of the Dead. Plus, he's also still got that Suffocating Fumes as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which he's already used the Spell Pierce. So this is going to do some havoc here.
Yeah, Austin's fine with just blocking him in Moon Circuit. He doesn't really care about the ninja getting in. So he's just... Or the Brine Board guy.
Brine Burrow.
Yep. So he's going to snap that. Maybe Austin's realizing he overextended just a little bit with that attack and just needed to... Because this is what Mono Blue needs. It just wants to pick up again and make it awkward to block with this Brine Burrow with your X1s.
He's going to... This is before, so he's declaring before blockers are
declared. Yep.
Give all creatures -1/-1. So kill the Moon Circuit Hacker, and we'll leave we'll have a ninja in play. So we get a nice draw card here with two damage behind it.
Yep. And sitting on this Spellstar Sprite that only can counter a 1 CMC though.
Can't counter anything right now because it doesn't have 2 mana.
Fair.
Gotta have that second mana. Still has the Brine Burrow.
A kind of a mana-hungry deck for being so lean on lands.
Both of them are, honestly. I mean, both of them are using their lands a lot every single turn.
And when you're seeing Austin might pull away with this because he kept a very land-heavy hand, and luckily had some good top decks.
He's top deck. The dispute was like the biggest part of that to start off the game.
We're gonna see that Brine Burrow go to the graveyard off that Furby from Austin.
So there's still a counterspell?
Counterspell and Spellstar Sprite, it looks like.
Okay. So if he hits land here, that's not the worst thing.
You do like lands in this deck.
Okay, so we have Fairy Miscreant.
Playing the mono blue, but maybe you want to be playing 19 lands because this was an issue I was running. We saw it on coverage. Our last round, our mono blue opponent just got stuck on lands.
It happens. I know that's happened, or it happened to you too.
And
Like
exactly.
when we played in our event down in Atlanta.
And you can kind of see it on Karl's face a little bit, just like looking at these 3 islands in play. Be like, how do I get I want a fourth one to play.
Both these decks are acting on very lean cards, and Austin's able to just take advantage of it because you just put more lands in his deck.
It's awkward because it's you want lands, but now it's like now that you only have 1 card in hand, it's like you don't really want lands anymore.
Right.
1 card, but what if you start drawing up on gas again?
Pick up a land.
Karl's not in the worst spot ever, too. I want to put that out there.
There's just counterspell in hand with what was the draw for turn?
Mutagenic growth.
Okay, that actually could lead to some interesting stuff happening here.
Just a ninja.
Well, the good news is that there is a
Austin's got a double block here.
Oh, he sniffed it out. That's beautiful. Actually, this is going to be good if he can resolve this Omen of the Dead.
Yep.
What if he goes for it here?
He got to. I mean, he has 1 card in hand. You just got to jam when he can jam.
Yep.
Not a terrible spot at all for Karl.
He drew Ephemerate. That's
very
pretty
bad
horrendous here. If Karl draws a ninja, he's in pretty good shape
kind of
here.
seeing Tithing Blade wouldn't be the worst card here.
Nothing here. Was that another Ephemerate? It was a second Ephemerate.
Ouch. Like looking back when Austin picked up
just attack
or didn't sack the Thraben and sacked that Tithing Blade. I wonder
that's
the
a deadly
thought process
dispute.
there.
That's pretty good.
That always gets you back in.
I think you just were trying to resolve this on your main phase.
Additional cost. He puts down the graveyard right away. Karl says Spellstar Sprite.
Absolutely not.
And this looks like this is where Faeries wants to be. Both playing off a deck. Don't know what's in Karl's hand though. Thank you, Karl. Did he hear me?
This could be a turn that Austin gets back in the game. But he just drew a land.
Off the Ichor.
Yeah, if he could have found something immediately off of that, it would have been pretty good. But
6,
he just didn't.
and I think maybe just playing that suffocating fumes.
Fairy Seer again.
I think pulling that suffocating fumes a bit too early.
Yeah, I think so. Because he really only just got 1 creature out of it, which is probably not worth what you're trying to do. Like this would be huge on this board right here. Like absolutely backbreaking if you just resolved like the suffocating fumes.
And Austin's a little.
Now he still does. He's not completely out of the game because if he just draws like Cantrip Rock into like Deadly Dispute into like do 2 things,
he's dead.
Oh, now he's dead. Never mind.
Yeah.
There's a little skull and crossbones. That's great.
Austin a little upset. Like, man, I filled it out. Well, you did keep a 5-lander.
He did keep a 5-lander.
You're in a great spot that you're in this game to begin with, you know. So
yeah, he got pretty lucky to get as far as he did on because his opponent stumbled so much.
Because it was 5 lands,
5 lands,
Raven Charm
or Tithing Blade, Thraben, Inspector.
So drawing the Core Skyfisher and Friends and stuff there was really good. Still,
so going to sideboard. What do you think this looks like from Austin's side?
Austin is probably looking to bring in these 2 Drown in Sorrows and 1 Shrivel, I would think. Okay. Trespasser Curse is fine because you are bouncing stuff in and out, but it's just a bad late game draw.
Yeah, I don't want that.
And he might be big on the divest. He doesn't have artifacts to hit, and we know Karl will probably be bringing in more spells, so divest just gets worse and worse. Yeah. So from Karl's side, what do you think?
On Karl's side, he might want like these copies of like Relic, because Relic is pretty good against the like pick stuff up with the Omen of the Dead package. Maybe he may not even want them. Like he just may go, I want. Like he's just bringing in 3 cards. I'm going to assume that those are the Steel Sabotages. If I had to make a guess, because they can just like tempo your opponent out of the game like pretty badly.
I agree. Even past that, it's not like you really want the annuls.
Yeah, you don't want an annul.
Like you can hit a blade and stuff, but it's like Austin is not that heavy of an artifact deck here. The Black-White Blade is not. Maybe what are we trimming on the Fairy side, you think?
I imagine these Mutagenic Growths probably hit the board.
Yeah, we saw them do work here.
They did do work. I just think they were kind of like the Fairy Miscreant. You could cut the card basically any time.
I never cut Fairies Miscreant.
Really?
No. You just need Flying Men.
Okay.
That's what the deck does. You want to play a 1/1. You want to play a Flyer on turn 1. You want to play a Ninja on turn 2, especially on the play. But you are on the draw here, so. But even more so, it's just like you want your plethora of 1-drops.
Okay. I've not played this deck, so I'll defer to you on that one.
I haven't had a ton of reps with it. I would also refer to Mr. Skura. Whatever.
What to do here.
The Flood Be Real.
Skura would also not have these Mutagenic Growths in the deck, too. So there's also that.
Yeah. Skura's been pretty vocal about it. I think the card's really... Ooh, we have 3 relics from Karl going into the deck.
Okay.
Interesting. He wants to stop that Omen Core Skyfisher loop.
I mean, that is like pretty potent if Austin can set it up.
If that gets going, it's hard.
Yeah. This is. I just heard Austin go. This is how it would end.
Against your good matchup. Well, you got to keep good hands, Austin.
Yeah, you kept a pretty sketchy hand in that game one.
Normally, I don't like digging on the players, but if you're gonna John,
Only because we can hear him.
yeah. Still up to 2 games of match to be played, so don't lose hope yet.
Yeah, the streak is not dead. It might not be like a 21-0 streak, but it's a streak nonetheless.
Yeah, 6-0. Good streak to start.
You don't know what my 21-0 reference is.
Nope.
It's a wrestling reference.
Never was a wrestler.
Well, I wasn't either.
Alrighty. Players cut each other decks. Best of lucks.
Austin wants to be really cool.
Yeah, he does.
And just pick it all up in one group.
And that was a
That
no-lander.
was a no-lander, yeah.
Hard to cast your spells without
No
lands.
Let's see what Karl has.
You hear them giggling. See an island.
I see an island.
Spell stutter
I
sprite?
see an island and some spells. It's probably... Oh, it was a second land. Okay.
Oh, yep.
One of the Kamigawa lands.
3 lands, it looks
3
like.
lands. That's
I will.
probably-
No, I can't tell. Looks like
it was
land, counterspell, land, spell stutter sprite is what I saw.
Oh, there's a bunch of lands.
Oh,
There's 4 lands actually in that hand.
Oh, wow.
That's also a really heavy land hand from.
Oh, yep. Like
from
you said,
Karl.
4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Brian Burrow, counterspell, spell
Oh,
stutter
this
sprite.
is a good hand from Austin actually. I do see a Drown in Sorrow, so he's able to try to clean up some of this early fairy action. He also has a turn 2.
See a relic.
He's a turn 2 refurbished familiar too, which is pretty.
Not
pretty
the
big.
fairy you want to see on turn 1.
No.
On a relic progenitus. Ooh.
No, I know Schroeder was also not a big fan of the graveyard interaction pieces either.
Well, he said he didn't play the Tormod's Crypts because they're in a unified trios event, and somebody had the Crypts or the Tormod Crypts.
Well,
and
yeah, I
relics.
think didn't he say going into even the main event he didn't even want them
And
then?
that's
Yeah.
what he said. He's like, really just against terror, and he's like, I don't really care about him there.
Yep. All right, discard. So let's
Ooh,
see.
an ephemerate. So we're gonna get attack for 2. No open white source. That's okay. He doesn't.
So he's got the ephemerate. He's got a Drown in Sorrow. So it's pretty working out. Not too bad.
Carlson plays Flying Man.
Man, I should just put Flying Man in the deck.
Yeah.
Like actual Flying Man.
We're gonna see a cast out
Oh.
and see if Karl wants to trade
He's
spell
in this-
spray.
Ooh, this is a big game. He's about to get 2 for 1 here.
But we do see it does hit his own familiar.
It does.
But do we see? Let's see if he just fires off. Because what's your hand after that? Is it Omen of it?
It might be Omen of the Dead. Well, actually, even if it's Omen of the Dead, it doesn't do anything because of the relic.
Exactly.
So just go ephemerate here.
Interesting. So Austin's probably thinking about last game. Oh, it looks like 2 Drown Sorrows. So he's probably thinking about last game when he got a little too greedy with his. So now Austin's in a hard spot to figure out if he wants to block for a ninja.
He's also got to find a way to deal with this relic, or otherwise that Omen of the Dead is really never going to do
I'm
anything
not
other
quite
than,
sure if
other
it's
than
an
Scry
Omen.
2.
And that's fine. Like, that's not fine. Bards won't play it into the relic, but
Yeah.
or forcing them to pop it.
I was
But,
just saying he's got to play around into this relic. It's going to be kind of difficult.
oh, yep, it is Omen Drown Sorrow.
Yeah.
And then I believe Counterspell was the last
Counter-
card in Karl's hand. So this Austin's probably looking to fire off this Drown in Sorrow, but might not. It's not gonna do it. It looks like.
Well, he doesn't even have the backup one, so this could be pretty bad.
Yep.
He's going to go for it. It's
He
not
kind
going
of
to
have to jam though. You
Yeah,
know?
he's got to jam his spells. He can't just sit here forever.
Karl.
I mean,
loses
Karl's
last
also not
card.
like putting a whole lot of pressure on him.
No, so he is in a top deck scenario, and Karl might end up popping this relic just to cycle it, and then that makes that Omen of your hand that Karl does not know about a lot better.
Just attack for 3.
And
Block the spell starter. Yeah,
Mhm.
seems reasonable.
I wonder if he cycles relic here. We see
Ooh,
of one
draw
line,
a
divination.
divination.
That Omen. It's like, do you want to tap out? Oh
Let him
wow!
have it.
Let him have it.
All right. That was some disciplined actions there.
Back over to Austin. He's gonna
He's going to scry 2 in his upkeep.
his favorite cards.
Land in a
Dive
tithing
Fist.
blading. I think was it tithing blade? Backwards tithing blade, I think.
Oh, I thought it looked like a dive.
It might have
Fist.
been a dive vest. The art looks kind of similar. It's that same color scheme.
Oh.
second from that's pretty big game.
That was
actually.
really good, Austin. That was a draw you needed.
Eat that. That's fine.
Interesting not to see a cycle from it, since we see an Omen of a Dead already exiled.
Yeah,
which might have been what he exiled here.
I mean,
or it's already in the graveyard.
Yeah, I don't think he knows that there's more than one copy, so he might just be kind of worried about that.
Yep.
I mean, the race is on, and currently Austin's winning the race.
But you just need a ninja to pick up for the race.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and that's a big sign of no ninja.
Correct.
Is that an ephemerate?
I think that was a Dawnbringer cleric.
Oh, you are correct.
Which is actually not the worst here either.
Trade 1, no mutagenic growth. Austin's just like, okay, these.
I think he just wants to save that for a
Moon Circuit Hacker?
Moon Circuit Hacker, I believe.
Probably just...
He probably fires it off, gain 2.
Clock. Helps a clock. As funny as it sounds, that...
It turns on ephemerates later in the game too, which is not terrible.
Karl has a counter spell in hand, so he's like, I'm not going to counter that. Austin gains 2 off that Dawnbringer. Eats the graveyard.
Does help him being able to race even further.
So we got counter spell, and we're going to see this divination from Karl. You got it, Austin says.
Yeah, I don't. It's funny.
Oh, the rare double.
Holding up the counter spell here.
I think that's correct.
Correct. Yeah, no argument there.
Just very, very disciplined.
Yep.
Get in for one. Austin also very disciplined from not attacking here. I like that.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to get blown out by a ninja here.
Karl just saw 2 new cards, and he's like, it's not worth him having the ninja. But he does have the ephemerate, which is really,
the mutagenic
really nice.
growth as well. This is cheeky. He thought about it too.
Yeah. 11 from Karl. Yeah, this is an interesting.
Just have ephemerate, which is actually pretty good.
Yeah, this is an interesting matchup right now. Like this can go either way. We're really just seeing what plays off a deck, and right now Karl has more ways to cycle through his deck. He's gonna draw a card off that Fairy Miscreant. He can cycle the relic here. It's kind of done its job, and he's holding back on that mutagenic growth counterspell on Island.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
Send in for 2.
This is a really good spot for Karl.
Just goes in for 1. Okay.
I like that. Not wanting to make the.
Yep. Oh, Thraben Inspector is actually pretty good here.
We love a Thraben.
I'm throbbing for a Thraben.
Yeah. Aren't we all? We're gonna see him cast that. Yeah. Him being, he's not short. I know he likes to pay 3 to draw immediately.
Karl fires off a counterspell here.
He might be thinking about it.
He did counterspell at game 1, I believe. Correct.
And we're gonna. Yeah. That was games ago that we saw. That was Wub versus Austin.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
How far ago? The day's all a blur. It's been a long day. It's been a good day.
It was Esper Wub versus.
This is game 2 of this match, and Karl is up a game.
Correct. Ephemerate there, nice. Karl's gonna discard an island. He's like, okay, I'm fine with that. Maybe Karl not knowing if Austin is the Mardu.
I think it was a Moon Circuit. Yep.
You can't ephemerate it on the upkeep to blow up the Moon Circuit if that's something he's interested in. But it's already a blocker, though.
It's just true. It also just remove it as well. Like, you don't have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
You just can get rid of
Play the Miscreant, draw a card.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, this is so.
We'll just drew another island.
That ninja drew 2 cards.
Yeah, he's just gonna kill the. Just gonna kill the Moon Circuit Hacker. It is an enchantment, everyone.
Yep.
It's pretty good. He drew a Tithing Blade. It's actually not bad here.
No, just get that number down to 1, Miscreant.
Yeah. And you can actually start to flip it. Flip it's not terrible here either.
No, not at all. Not at all. Because Faeries is nickeling and diming ya.
Ooh, the annul. Okay.
Yep, null comes in. Put that to the graveyard.
Yep.
We'll say go.
Throbbing for a Thraben.
Who isn't?
Oh, that's J-Ho. He was actually playing today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was playing Affinity today.
Oh, okay, dope.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that ninja, good draw. Looks like this game is all but over for Austin.
I mean, Austin can still get back in here, too.
Mm-hmm. Like, do we have any counter magic from Karl?
If he's thinking about it. What am I going to do here?
Austin better be
just gonna pass back.
knocking on that top for Drown and no
Drown in Sorrow.
Was
that
that
land? I think it was just the Vault for turn.
Oh, okay. I saw the Vault was already in hand. So
the Vault was already in hand. So something else.
Not quite sure what the second card was. Another island. Karl's loving these islands. He's Spell Pierce in hand. Saw that one. He's gonna crack that relic finally, just like whatever. I've exiled cards. I'll draw the card finally. Very disciplined on that relic. Draw, ooh, another ninja that can draw 2 cards this turn if he so pleases. It's double block from Austin. Is he going to save firing off this mutagenic growth, it looks like? On the miscreant, maybe? The ninjutsu, the unblocked one?
You could, yeah. I mean, that's pretty devastating.
Because then you're up the card you're losing, you know?
Yeah. It is a game about cards.
We're going to ninja there.
There's that.
And we're going to see just take 2, he says. Beautiful.
Just playing very, very conservatively here.
Dead there. And does Karl draw his card? Karl does not draw his card from his... Or maybe he's responding to a draw trigger here. Not quite sure.
No, I think we've pointed to him now.
Only one should be drawing. He blocked one with Dawnbringer, being a 1/3? Yep.
Yep.
Not quite sure what that was. It looked like a...
It's a Brine Burrow, I think.
Okay, yep. Good eye, Hippo. Yep, that is.
This is game 2.
Game 2. Karl is up 1 game.
Correct. And up a lot of cards in hand, too.
Yeah, Austin just really has to hope for knocking on a Drown in Sorrow and just...
Hope that there's no counterspell to back it up.
Yes, and...
Yeah.
Man...
Or Skyfisher.
That is a card. Probably run out this cast down first. See it and make room for this core Skyfisher. Maybe pick up Dawnbringer. How do you feel about that? Gaining 2, buffing that life total?
Yeah, that's fine. Cast down on a ninja. No way to stop that. We could spell pierce it, but we have the mana to pay. Skyfisher. Can't spell pierce that one.
Nope.
Replay the Dawnbringer
Yep.
cleric.
Excel card. Austin says, yep. Got another relic in there. Austin's happy to exile cards. He's like, I got my omen.
He's like my one omen is gone. At this point, it is done. Actually, it is relevant against the blade, too, if you ever wanted to flip a blade.
Oh, that is true. That is true. Good point, Hippo. I like the flick to block the ninja there. He's going to play a miscreant. Knew about.
Still holding on to that mutagenic growth.
Probably will help push through that core Skyfisher here. Get that out.
Dawnbringer Cleric also kills a Moon Circuit hacker. It is an enchantment, so it's not the worst thing.
Hey, we see Novice Inspector's little brother, Thraben Inspector's little brother, Novice Inspector here. Immediately cracking it to draw that one card. Eat a card. He's probably gonna say goodbye to that cast down. Karl will draw another island.
Doing a double block here. He's trying to play around the
Mutagenic growth doesn't take both of them out.
Does not kill both. That's 5 toughness, and it's only going to put it up to 4 power. So
that'll keep the ninja alive though.
It does keep the ninja alive. He also still has the mutagenic growth as well.
Just doesn't need it to play it though. Austin is just probably like, man, this is. I play around the mutagenic growth. I
think the further down the hole he goes, and the worse the mutagenic growth becomes against like for him.
Yeah,
like Austin, like he just the more that Karl doesn't have to cast it, the better he actually gets here.
Agreed.
That was a blade.
Probably just says, okay, bye, Brian Burrow,
Yeah, easy.
Exactly that, yep.
As we called it. Flip the blade. Yep.
So activate that. So he's hoping maybe I can just block enough and ride this blade out for 9 turns.
I mean, it does help him stabilize a little bit.
But he does have answers to the blade, and the steel sabotages to bounce them.
Does he? Have we seen them?
We have not. We saw a null.
So we saw a null. He might just be on a null.
Yep. It might be, like you said.
Pass back to Karl.
See, he's gonna be able to.
This turn is probably gonna be a good turn for that mutagenic growth.
Yeah, none of them are dying. That's what's great about this turn right here. Oh, look at that.
Draw a
These
card.
miscreants putting in work this game. We don't see this often.
Nope.
The
Sure
card being
don't.
good.
Yeah, don't often see that being good.
Normally, it's just like, why is this card in my deck? Mutagenic growth,
Yep.
kill that. Yep.
Yep. That's pretty bad.
Hey, that's a shock. It's a free shock.
It sure is.
Look at that. Austin in the lead now. Okay, cast down. We see Spell Pierce,
This is like Force
Island,
Skyfisher? Or was
and
it cast
Spell
down?
Stutter Sprite.
Just a cast down.
Yeah, that's a good Spell
Spell
Stutter
Stutter, yep.
Sprite.
I
And
think
this
that
game's
might
all
be.
but over.
I think that might have been the end of the game.
Yep, puts Austin to 1 here.
So
Austin
we
goes
didn't
to
draw
2.
mutagenic growth either.
Yep. Block, Austin says. Yep. And we're gonna.
Burrow.
That's
or
game.
Moonstruck Attack, that's it.
Yep.
All right.
2, 4, 6. Oh, my bad. Miscounted.
Also was at 7, goes to 1.
Yep. I thought it was at 6.
Goes
for
to
some
2
reason.
in his upkeep. Drowning Sorrow's not the worst here if you drew it.
Yeah, you're correct. I mean, he has a Spell Star Sprite, which is unfortunate. Got a Tithing Blade. Whatever.
That is going to do it.
Good games, y'all.
All right, good games, Austin.
Karl takes down the streak of the infamous Austin Walker, who went 6-0 in our Swiss
He
with
did.
Black White Blade. Good showing.
He had a very
Can't be mad at 6-0 in the
no,
Swiss.
he had a
It's
very
really
strong.
hard.
He had a very strong run in
And
the Swiss.
Good hands kept from Karl. Karl played that game very disciplined. We saw it.
Sure did.
Really saw the power of Brian Burrow.
Yeah, that
that
card has
game.
continued to impress me as the more and more I actually see it get played.
Just you think you're gonna trade,
and then you're like, nope.
you're gonna be card parity, and it's just like, oh, I got blown out. It's
Yeah,
like, I
you
got
actually.
2
It's like
for
now you're
1.
down. Like,
Yeah,
you're down.
yeah.
Like, you're down a whole card. They're up a creature. Like it's just all so bad.
And we saw something tricky. We saw like the ninjutsu, the Brian Burrow, pick it back, like ninjutsu, the Brian Burrow, then play the Brian Burrow, give your thing, and now you're really down. I drew a card.
Yeah.
That was insane. That was a big blowout we saw on Karl's in there.
Agreed.
How are we doing, Thomas? Oh, okay. So we got Devin beat. I can't read that. Devin beat Dustin.
Devin beat Dustin Sendejas 2-1. So Devin on Blue Red Terror beating Dustin on Affinity there.
Okay.
So Devin goes on to our semis.
I like the
with
little
Karl,
cards we're getting.
along with Karl. Cool.
Beautiful. I wonder if we're able to get another match in here or get a winner's interview maybe from Thomas if he's down for that.
We shall see. So that moves on 2 players currently to our semifinals.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Blue Red Terror and Blue Fae. So the blue cards, they came to play.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Blue
big
cards
time,
came to
big
play
time.
today.
I don't know if Kyle is able to put on that bracket for us real quick too, so we can take a look on what matches are going on. Why is he playing all different islands? That is awful to watch because there are different strokes for different folks,
That's
like
right.
different things.
Some
That is why
some people like to actually get tilt equity out of their opponents by playing all different.
And
all
I'm a
different
matcher.
lands.
My mono blue fairy deck personally, I have.
I was like, it's not all matching.
Okay, I'm getting there. It's almost all Lorwyn foil islands. 248B is the
You
code.
better know. You would know better than I do.
Because I asked a lot of vendors if they have that, but some people like different. We have a lot of people that we have our friend playing. Is it Scred with all different cards? Like none of the lightning bolts, none of the brainstorm, nothing matches. Some people just like that. They get to see different cards. It's kind of cool.
So currently, based on the brackets, we know we have Austin Befallen against Karl here. So Karl, what do you think on the other side, on that side of the bracket? Do you think Karl wants to play against in the semis?
One more time. What are the options? Where am I looking at? There we go.
We're
We got
looking
full
on
on
this-
Jun Brood scale.
On this side. What do you think Karl wants to play against on this side?
Yes, Jun Wildfires versus Walls. Probably Walls. I gotta imagine, right?
I would imagine so.
Yeah, because Jun Wildfires that can go either
I
way.
think the Walls is like really bad into Jund Wildfire, like the Quark Clan thing. Just
wow,
absolutely just demolishes them into.
I mean, but they can have a fast start, and we're gonna move it over to winner's interview with Karl beating Austin with Mono Blue Fae. Throwing the Thomas and Karl.
Awesome. I'm here with Karl Schroeder, our winner of the quarterfinal match we just watched on coverage. You bested Austin Walker, who's at the top seed, 6-0 record, and you managed to take him down. How you feeling?
Pretty good. I have never really played against the Orzhov bounce deck before. And he also knew what I was on going into it, and I did not know what he was on. So I was at a little bit of a disadvantage, also being 8th seed and him getting to play first. But I think I could have made some better plays after sideboarding, but I think the first game is pretty clean. Didn't play super aggressively into Drown and Sorrow, stuff like that. So I think I did okay.
It looked like game 1 was a lot of kind of Mana Screw versus Mana Flood, and Mana Screw eventually beat out Mana Flood, and kind of an exchange of resources. Talk to me about that second game. It looked really, really grindy down the stretch, and you were finally able to leverage, like you were mutagenic growthing to get a couple of trades off of one creature. You were both just chipping in for one. You're looking for a ninja. He's trying to find, more deadly disputes or try to bounce something core Skyfisher. So how did that go down the stretch there for you?
Mutagrowth is very important in the matchup because it's one of the only ways you can trade with Skyfisher, which basically blocks everything, right?
Yes.
So playing it too early means you instantly lose, which is terrible. I'd side out snaps as well, so there's no real way to get anything out of the way because I just don't want him to get the extra snap value. So it really is down just to Mutagrowth on that. So I had to play very slowly to bait out a good time to cast the Mutagrowth and actually get some value off of it. I think I played that part well. The only parts that I think I really messed up at were probably I could play the relics a little bit more aggressively because at a certain point he just wasn't on graveyard anymore. He kind of transitioned out of it and more into a blocker's aggro race style.
Yeah, when you're in that spot, some things can, you miss a couple things in there. Magic is really hard. People are going to make mistakes. Like, it happens. What made you bring Fae to the tournament? I know, personally, it was one of my top choices if I were playing. What made you choose it?
It's the first Pauper tournament I ever played in, so I don't know what the metagame is going to be like. But I figured a lot of people would be on Brood scale because, it's kind of the hot deck right now. There's a lot of articles about it. If you probably just Google Pauper, that's probably half of the new stuff that's coming out. Right, so it's the hot deck. I figured a lot of people are on it. I think there's at least 2 people on it in the top 8. There might be 3. But Faeries is really good against Brood Scale because you can erase them and also keep them off of their kind of like clunky combo against you because a lot of their deck is either like do nothing or just draw all my cards, right? So if you can keep up with draw and race, I think it's a very good matchup against Brood Scale. I haven't played against any Brood Scale except for the first round. No, I played against it twice today, so I did win both those games. It was good against it.
Awesome. So. Now, you will be playing up against either of the Jonathans. Jonathan Turner on Jund Wildfires or Jonathan Dacus on the Walls combo deck. We're not quite sure. I believe they're in Game 3 right now. It's looking pretty tense over there.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference of which of those 2 matchups you think you'd like to play against?
The Walls deck, I don't super understand. I played against it already today and lost, so I'd probably prefer to play against Wildfires because I got a board full of like Blue Blast and stuff. It's pretty good, but it's a Brood Scale deck, kind of. It could be. I'm not exactly sure what list he's running, but I think that deck's a lot easier to play against because it's kind of just like if you blow up the big Eldrazi, you're free in the skies for the rest of the game. Whereas the Walls deck, just very confusing, lots of lines, hard to play against.
It's for someone who's been familiar with the Pauper format for a while, it's still very confusing.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck the rest of the way, Karl. Congratulations on making top 4, and hopefully we'll see you make it all the way.
Hopefully, we'll see.
Awesome.
Congrats, Karl. Again, I want to shout out that Brine Burrow play. That was sick. Where Austin left that Brine Burrow unblocked, and Karl was able to ninja that in. And then flash it in the Brine Burrow to target Austin's blocking creature and just up such cards there.
Yeah.
And
Lots of very good play actually coming from Karl in that matchup.
And again, shout out to us at the Common Ground MTG podcast. We do an episode every week, every Thursday. We come out with a sick episode about your favorite format, Pauper.
That's true, we do.
All sorts of stuff. We've talked about ban list discussions, of course. We've talked about why every card is banned on there. That's personally one of my favorite. One of the early episodes. But personally, still one of my favorites.
It was a fun episode to do. I remember that.
I'm going to shout that episode. That one was fun. And, of course, Skura, the Mono Blue Fae one. Very relevant.
That was a good one, too. But, we can't do this event without our host here at Game Night. Game Night in Columbia. It's your one-stop shop for Magic, Lorcana, Pokemon, Warhammer 40K, and so much more. You can find them online at GameNightTN.com and on all the major socials at GameNightTN.
And again, just the biggest shout out to community here, just allowing this to happen, showing up for these events. I've said this so many times, but Game Night hosts so much cool events. We do these team trios, we do this Pauper 1K, and the community is here for it. They really are. And
any community-driven format, they're very willing to take a hold of. Even CDH as well.
And it helps when you have a store that's willing to listen to the community and do what the community wants. Steven, the owner, is very gracious about putting all the money back into the prize pool, which is just awesome. Like, you don't see that a ton.
Yep. All right, so we got an update, and it looks like the match between Full and McMinn is Full got that one.
So Full was on Junbird scale, and McNinn was on.
That is a great question.
Oh, thank you.
It was on Kuldotha Red.
Wow,
that's actually impressive.
Again. Full is
in his
so
in
we're
his
gonna
wheelhouse.
We're gonna see a beautiful matchup. Full on Junbird scale with Devin
and on Blue Red Terror.
I
That's
hope-
going to be a
I
banger
hope to see
of
that.
a matchup.
I hope to see that next on coverage.
I will make that happen.
We'll fight for that.
We will fight for that one now.
Oh, yeah.
I would love
all-
to see that.
The whole casting crew,
Wants to
just
see that
everybody
matchup.
double thumbs up. And I get to do the winners interview for that too. I have 2 buddies, and you can't go wrong with that.
You're
all right.
I get to look at these games. Be sick.
And with that, thank you all for watching, and we'll be right back
with the semifinals.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.